You've been lied to about your food for far too long. Imagine holding a tablet labeled as 450 milligrams. Now, what if I told you this same tablet could legally be classified as 0 milligrams? Hard to believe, right? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but this isn't fiction. It's a loophole in food labeling laws that manufacturers exploit to hide the truth about what you're consuming every single day. This isn't just about misleading numbers. It's about the deliberate manipulation of information that directly impacts your health. How many times have you picked up a product that says sugar-free, fat-free, or sodium-free and trusted it without a second thought? This trust is exactly what food companies rely on to sell you products filled with hidden ingredients. But why does this matter so much? These hidden ingredients have real consequences. Spiking your blood sugar, altering your metabolism, and introducing potentially harmful chemicals into your body. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the depth of this deception, but also learn practical ways to protect yourself from these hidden dangers. Let's dive into the secrets behind the labels and expose the truth that manufacturers don't want you to know. The rounding rule on labels. Let's dive deeper into one of the most cunning strategies in the food industry: the rounding rule. Imagine this. It's completely legal for a manufacturer to claim that a product contains 0 milligrams of a certain ingredient when, in fact, it can legally have up to 499 milligrams per serving. How is this possible? This loophole is embedded in food labeling regulations, which allow companies to round down the amount of an ingredient to 0 if it falls below a specific threshold, 500 milligrams in most cases. Take trans fats as an example. These fats are widely known for their harmful effects, including their contribution to heart disease and inflammation. Yet, a product can still contain nearly half a gram of trans fats per serving and display a label proudly stating 0 grams trans fat. What's worse, most people consume more than the recommended serving size without realizing that these small amounts quickly add up. A single serving might seem harmless, but multiple servings in a day could mean consuming several grams of this harmful substance, all while trusting the label's misleading claims. This deceptive practice extends to other controversial ingredients like monosodium glutamate, MSG, a flavor enhancer linked to various health concerns. If the quantity of MSG in a product falls under the rounding threshold, it's as if it doesn't exist. The ingredient is effectively invisible on the label, allowing manufacturers to market their products as MSG-free when they are anything but. The danger lies in the repetition and cumulative effect. You might not think much of consuming a product labeled as having 0 trans fats or MSG, but over time, these hidden ingredients can have a significant impact on your health. This is especially alarming when we consider how many processed foods rely on these additives to enhance taste, texture, or shelf life. Now, consider the broader implications. How many times have you picked up a product that proudly displays sugar-free, fat-free, or low-sodium claims? These statements are designed to give you peace of mind, making you believe the product aligns with your health goals. But have you ever thought to question what's actually in it? The truth is, many of these products are far from what they claim to be. The fine print often tells a very different story. But the food industry relies on the fact that most consumers don't scrutinize ingredient lists or nutritional facts. This is exactly why understanding how to read food labels is more important than ever. It's not just about avoiding harmful substances. It's about uncovering the deliberate manipulation that prioritizes profit over your well-being. By being more informed, you can start to make better choices and avoid falling victim to these hidden traps in your diet, incidental additives, and hidden ingredients. Let's uncover another layer of deception in food labeling: incidental additives. These are ingredients used in the production process that are not required to be listed on the label if they constitute less than 5% of the finished product. This small percentage might seem insignificant, but the effects can be far from negligible. Incidental additives often serve purposes like enhancing texture, extracting certain components, or preserving food. They are technically not part of the main ingredients, which is how manufacturers justify leaving them off the label. Take maltodextrin, as an example. Maltodextrin is a carbohydrate derived from corn, rice, or potato starch. While it's categorized as a complex carbohydrate, its effect on the body is anything but complex. On the glycemic index, maltodextrin can score as high as 180, significantly higher than table sugar, which scores around 74. Despite its ability to spike blood sugar rapidly, it's often used as a filler or stabilizer in supplements and processed foods. Here's the catch. Because maltodextrin is technically an incidental additive in many cases, it doesn't always appear on the ingredient list. This means you could be consuming a food or supplement that claims to be sugar-free or low-carb, but still contains ingredients that act just like sugar in your body. The effects on blood sugar and insulin levels can be profound, especially for individuals managing conditions like diabetes or metabolic syndrome. Even more concerning are solvents and other incidental chemicals used during processing. For example, dextrin, a cousin of maltodextrin, is used as a thickener or binding agent in many processed foods. It's technically a carbohydrate, but because of its incidental status, it's often omitted from the label. Manufacturers also utilize these hidden ingredients to enhance flavor without declaring them. For instance, flavor enhancers derived from MSG-like compounds might not be listed as MSG, but can have similar effects. This allows companies to legally claim no MSG on their packaging while still including derivatives that deliver the same impact. The bottom line? These hidden additives contribute to the very problems you might be trying to avoid, all while being excluded from the labels you rely on to make informed decisions. Understanding incidental additives and their loopholes is another critical step toward protecting your health and holding manufacturers accountable. The role of solvents in food processing. Let's shift our focus to a particularly alarming category of hidden ingredients: solvents used in food processing. One of the most concerning examples is hexane, a chemical you've probably never heard of, but one that plays a significant role in the production of many so-called healthy and natural foods. Hexane is a solvent derived from petroleum, specifically as a byproduct of gasoline refining. It's commonly used to extract oils from soybeans, which are then turned into soy protein isolates, a key ingredient in protein bars, veggie burgers, plant-based foods, and many protein powders. The process involves soaking the soybeans in a petrochemical bath of hexane to separate the oil. While this might sound efficient from a manufacturing perspective, it's far from healthy for consumers. Here's where it gets even more concerning. Hexane is classified as a neurotoxin by the CDC and is also recognized as a hazardous air pollutant by the EPA. Despite these classifications, there is no regulatory body measuring how much hexane residue remains in the final product. The soybean industry argues that most of the hexane evaporates during processing, but without proper oversight, there's no way to verify just how much of this harmful chemical ends up in your food. Some high-profile cases have brought attention to this issue. For example, brands like Kashi and Cliff Bars, both marketed as natural and healthy, faced lawsuits after it was revealed that their products contained hexane residues. Even more troubling, certain products that claimed to be 100% organic were found to contain traces of hexane. By definition, hexane cannot be present in a certified organic product, making these revelations particularly damaging to consumer trust. Manufacturers exploit yet another loophole here by classifying hexane as a processing aid. This means it doesn't need to be listed as an ingredient, even if residues remain in the final product. Processing aids can serve various purposes, from preventing clumping, anti-caking agents, to acting as binders. But when the processing aid in question is a neurotoxin like hexane, the lack of transparency becomes a serious concern. Hexane isn't the only hidden danger. Similar solvents and chemicals used in food processing often go unregulated and unlisted, leaving consumers in the dark about what they're truly eating. This is why it's essential to scrutinize products, especially those containing soy protein isolates or other heavily processed ingredients. These seemingly harmless foods could be introducing harmful toxins into your diet under the guise of being healthy and natural. Understanding the role of solvents like hexane and their unregulated presence in your food is a crucial step in taking control of your health. By choosing whole, minimally processed foods and demanding greater transparency from manufacturers, you can reduce your exposure to these hidden chemicals. Deceptive marketing strategies in sugar-free products. Let's explore a tactic that has misled millions of health-conscious consumers. Deceptive marketing in products labeled as sugar-free or no added sugar. At first glance, these labels seem like a win for those aiming to reduce sugar intake. However, the reality hidden behind these claims tells a much different story. Many products labeled sugar-free still contain ingredients that act just like sugar in your body. One common example is maltodextrin, which we've already discussed. Although it's categorized as a carbohydrate and not a sugar, maltodextrin has a glycemic index far higher than table sugar. This means it spikes your blood sugar even faster than the sugar it claims to replace. Because maltodextrin is often used in small amounts, manufacturers exploit the rounding rule to avoid listing it, allowing them to label their product as sugar-free. Another tactic is the use of sugar alcohols and synthetic sweeteners, such as isomaltooligosaccharides, IMOs. These ingredients are marketed as fibers but often behave like sugars in the body. For instance, IMOs are frequently found in protein bars boasting 1 gram of sugar or no added sugars. While the claims might be technically accurate, these ingredients can still impact blood sugar levels, especially when consumed in larger quantities. Even more misleading is the label "no added sugar." This phrase suggests that a product doesn't contain sugar, but in reality, it only means no sugar was added during manufacturing. The base ingredients could still be naturally rich in sugar or include hidden sugars under alternative names like dextrose, high fructose corn syrup, or corn syrup solids. The result? Consumers feel reassured by the label and are less likely to check the ingredients for hidden sugars. Gum, sugar-free beverages, and non-dairy creamers are particularly notorious for these tricks. Because the serving sizes are so small, manufacturers can add sugars or sugar-like ingredients without exceeding the threshold that would require them to disclose it. For instance, a sugar-free gum might contain negligible amounts of sugar per piece, but after chewing several pieces throughout the day, the cumulative intake becomes significant. Another deceptive ingredient is corn syrup solids, which sound harmless but are essentially a concentrated form of corn syrup. It's a highly processed synthetic sugar, and its solid form allows manufacturers to list it separately from traditional liquid corn syrup, further obscuring its presence in a product. What's more alarming is the psychological effect of these labels. When you see sugar-free or no added sugars, it creates a sense of safety, leading you to consume these products without much thought. But as we've uncovered, these claims often mask the truth. They make you feel good about your choices while introducing hidden sugars and synthetic ingredients into your diet. The key takeaway here? Never rely solely on the bold claims on the front of the packaging. Always read the ingredient list carefully and understand the many names and forms sugar can take. By being vigilant, you can avoid falling victim to these marketing tricks and take real control over your sugar intake. Maltodextrin and its impact on the glycemic index. Let's delve into one of the most deceptively labeled ingredients, maltodextrin. On the surface, it's classified as a complex carbohydrate. However, its behavior in the body tells a completely different story. Maltodextrin is not just any carbohydrate. It's a hidden sugar in disguise. To understand why maltodextrin is so problematic, we need to look at the glycemic index, GI, a scale that measures how quickly a food raises blood sugar levels. For reference, table sugar has a GI of 74. Maltodextrin, on the other hand, can reach a GI as high as 180, more than double that of sugar. This means that even though it's labeled as a carbohydrate, maltodextrin causes blood sugar spikes far worse than sugar itself. Why is maltodextrin used so frequently? Its versatility. Maltodextrin serves as a thickener, filler, and stabilizer in countless processed foods, supplements, and even medications. Because it's cheap and effective, It has become a staple in the food industry. From protein powders to baked goods, maltodextrin lurks in many products, often hidden under the guise of sugar-free or low-carb claims. One of the reasons maltodextrin is so deceiving is the way it's labeled, or rather, not labeled. In small quantities, it can qualify as an incidental additive, meaning it doesn't have to appear on the ingredient list. This loophole allows manufacturers to include maltodextrin in their products without any mention, making it nearly impossible for consumers to know they're consuming it. Even more concerning is its presence in products marketed toward individuals with specific health goals, such as weight loss or diabetes management. Imagine someone trying to control their blood sugar levels, consuming a product labeled as sugar-free, only to unknowingly ingest maltodextrin. The resulting blood sugar spike can sabotage their efforts, leading to potential health risks over time. Beyond blood sugar, maltodextrin has other potential downsides. Because it's highly processed, it can disrupt gut health by feeding harmful bacteria, potentially leading to digestive issues. Its frequent use in low-quality, heavily processed foods further associates it with poor nutritional profiles. So, how can you protect yourself? Always read the ingredient list carefully and be on the lookout for maltodextrin, even in products that seem healthy. If you're managing blood sugar levels, consider investing in a blood glucose monitor. Testing your blood sugar response after consuming certain products can reveal whether hidden sugars like maltodextrin are present. Understanding maltodextrin and its impact is crucial for making informed choices. It's not enough to rely on the claims plastered across product packaging. By educating yourself and being vigilant, you can sidestep this hidden danger and take a proactive approach to your health. The truth about solvents like hexane. Among the most disturbing hidden dangers in processed foods is the widespread use of solvents like hexane. This chemical, often overlooked by consumers, plays a major role in food manufacturing, particularly in the production of plant-based proteins. But what exactly is hexane, and why should you be concerned? Hexane is a byproduct of gasoline refining, a petroleum-based solvent primarily used to extract oils from plants such as soybeans. The process is common in creating soy protein isolates, a key ingredient in protein bars, plant-based burgers, protein powders, and other processed foods marketed as healthy or natural. Hexane is used because it efficiently separates oil from the soybeans, making it a cost-effective solution for manufacturers. However, what's cost-effective for them can be hazardous for you. The CDC classifies hexane as a neurotoxin, meaning it can cause damage to the nervous system with prolonged exposure. Furthermore, the EPA identifies hexane as a hazardous air pollutant. While these warnings should raise alarms, there is currently no regulatory body actively measuring the residual amounts of hexane left in food products. Manufacturers often argue that the solvent evaporates during processing, but without consistent testing, there's no way to confirm just how much remains in the final product. This lack of regulation has real consequences. For instance, products labeled as natural or even organic have been found to contain hexane residues. Companies such as Kashi and Cliff Bars, which market themselves as health-conscious brands, face lawsuits after consumers discovered the presence of hexane in their products. These revelations sparked outrage, especially since some of these products were certified as 100% organic, a label that should exclude the presence of synthetic chemicals like hexane entirely. The food industry skirts around transparency by classifying hexane as a processing aid. This designation allows manufacturers to exclude it from ingredient lists, even if trace amounts remain in the final product. Processing aids like hexane are used not only to extract oils, but also as anti-caking agents or binders, further widening the scope of their use in food manufacturing. But the concerns go beyond soy protein isolates. Hexane is also used in the production of vegetable oils, including canola oil and sunflower oil, which are staples in many households. While the soybean industry claims that hexane levels in these oils are negligible, independent testing has shown otherwise in some cases. The broader issue is the cumulative effect of these hidden chemicals. Even if the amount of hexane in a single serving of a product is low, repeated consumption over time could lead to significant exposure. This is particularly alarming given hexane's potential to harm the nervous system and its classification as a hazardous pollutant. To protect yourself, prioritize whole, minimally processed foods. Be wary of products containing soy protein isolates or heavily processed vegetable oils. Look for certifications like organic or non-GMO, but remain critical. These labels are not always foolproof. Lastly, advocate for greater transparency and stricter regulations to hold food manufacturers accountable for the chemicals they use. Understanding the presence and impact of solvents like hexane is crucial in making informed dietary choices. By being aware and proactive, you can significantly reduce your exposure to hidden toxins in your food, synthetic ingredients, and hidden carbohydrates. One of the most deceptive practices in food manufacturing lies in the use of synthetic ingredients and hidden carbohydrates, which are strategically disguised to mislead consumers. These substances often appear in products marketed as sugar-free or low-carb, creating a false sense of security for health-conscious individuals. Let's examine these hidden culprits and their impact on your health. Corn syrup solids, sugar in disguise. Corn syrup solids are a prime example of how sugars are masked under technical terminology. While they sound harmless, they are essentially dehydrated corn syrup, a concentrated sugar that acts just like its liquid counterpart. Because they are in solid form, manufacturers can list them separately from traditional sugars, which further obscures their presence. Products like non-dairy creamers, powdered drink mixes, and even some supplements frequently contain corn syrup solids, contributing to hidden sugar intake. The role of serving sizes. Another deceptive practice involves manipulating serving sizes to conceal the presence of synthetic sugars and carbohydrates. For example, sugar-free gum and non-dairy creamers often boast 0 grams of sugar on their labels, but the truth lies in the serving size. By making the serving size artificially small, manufacturers can ensure that the sugar content falls below the legal threshold for disclosure. While a single serving might seem insignificant, consuming these products throughout the day can lead to substantial sugar intake. Carbohydrate misclassification. The case of maltodextrin. Maltodextrin, a carbohydrate that behaves like sugar in the body, is often misclassified on labels. Despite its high glycemic index, up to 180, it's categorized as a carbohydrate rather than a sugar. This allows manufacturers to claim their products are sugar-free while still including maltodextrin. Products like sugar-free protein powders, flavored water enhancers, and even low-carb baked goods often rely on this loophole to market their products as healthier than they really are. Artificial sweeteners, a hidden trap. Many sugar-free products rely on artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame to replace sugar. While these sweeteners might not directly impact blood sugar levels, they often come with hidden sugars like dextrose or maltodextrin as fillers. These fillers are not required to be listed if their quantities fall below the rounding rule threshold, meaning you could still be consuming significant amounts of sugar-like substances without realizing it. The psychological trap of no added sugar. The phrase "no added sugar" is another common marketing tactic that misleads consumers. While it suggests that the product is sugar-free, it only means that no additional sugar was included during manufacturing. Natural ingredients like fruit concentrates, honey, or other sugar derivatives can still be present in large amounts. These natural sugars are often overlooked by consumers who trust the "no added sugar" label, leading to unintentional overconsumption. Spotting hidden carbohydrates. To identify these hidden sugars and synthetic ingredients, start by scrutinizing ingredient lists for terms like corn syrup solids, maltodextrin, dextrose, and artificial sweeteners. Additionally, pay attention to the carbohydrate content, even in products labeled as sugar-free. If the total carbs seem high for a sugar-free product, it's a red flag that hidden carbohydrates may be at play. The importance of vigilance. Understanding the tactics manufacturers use to disguise sugars and carbohydrates is essential for protecting your health. By reading beyond the bold claims on the front of the packaging and examining the fine print, You can make informed choices and avoid falling victim to these deceptive practices. Opting for whole, unprocessed foods whenever possible is the best way to ensure you're consuming the nutrients your body needs without the hidden drawbacks. Testing hidden carbohydrates with iodine. Identifying hidden carbohydrates in your food and supplements doesn't have to be a mystery. With a simple iodine test, you can reveal the presence of starches like maltodextrin, cornstarch, or other hidden sugars in your products. This practical method is both quick and effective, providing a visual indicator of whether a product contains these hidden ingredients. How the iodine test works. The science behind this test is straightforward. Iodine reacts with starches, causing a visible color change to blue or purple. When there are no starches present, the iodine retains its original golden yellow hue. This chemical reaction makes iodine a powerful tool for identifying hidden carbohydrates in products marketed as sugar-free or low-carb. Performing the iodine test. Here's how you can perform the test at home. Prepare the materials. You'll need iodine, a clear container, and the food or supplement you want to test. For powders like protein or electrolyte mixes, dissolve a small amount in water. Control test. First, drop a few drops of iodine into plain water to observe its natural golden yellow color. This serves as your control to compare results. Test known starch. Take a product you know contains starch, such as bread, and add iodine. The color will change to blue or purple, demonstrating the presence of starch. Test your product. Add iodine to the dissolved food or supplement sample. If the color turns blue or purple, it indicates the presence of hidden carbohydrates or starches like maltodextrin. Real-life application. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine testing an electrolyte powder marketed as zero sugar, but finding that it turns blue during the iodine test. This means the product contains starches like maltodextrin, even though the label claims otherwise. On the other hand, testing a genuinely clean product should show no color change, confirming the absence of hidden carbohydrates. Why this matters? This simple test empowers consumers to verify the claims made by manufacturers. Many products contain small amounts of hidden starches that can accumulate over time, potentially disrupting blood sugar levels and affecting overall health. With the iodine test, you gain a reliable method to validate the nutritional integrity of what you're consuming. What to watch out for. While the iodine test is effective for detecting starches, it doesn't react to all forms of hidden sugars or synthetic carbohydrates. For instance, sugar alcohols and highly processed sugars like dextrose might not trigger the same color change. However, it remains an invaluable tool for uncovering the presence of starches in products claiming to be free of carbohydrates. The bigger picture. This simple iodine test represents more than just a way to identify hidden ingredients. It symbolizes the importance of taking control of your health. By questioning what's in your food and supplements and verifying claims through practical methods, you can make more informed choices and reduce your exposure to misleading products. In a world where food labeling is designed to confuse rather than clarify, tools like the iodine test can make all the difference in safeguarding your health. Conclusion. We've uncovered a startling reality. The food industry is riddled with hidden ingredients, deceptive labeling practices, and chemical processes that prioritize profit over public health. From the rounding rule that masks significant amounts of harmful substances to the use of solvents like hexane and the manipulation of terms like sugar-free, it's clear that navigating the world of packaged foods requires more than just reading the label. It requires a deeper understanding of the strategies manufacturers use to mislead consumers. Consider what we've explored. Incidental additives that don't have to be declared, maltodextrin sugar-like behavior despite being labeled as a carbohydrate, and the use of synthetic sugars and starches disguised under technical jargon. These ingredients not only deceive but also pose potential risks to your health, from spiking blood sugar to introducing neurotoxic solvents into your body. But we've also seen how knowledge is power. Tools like the iodine test can empower you to uncover hidden carbohydrates, giving you the ability to validate the claims made by manufacturers. understanding the significance of glycemic indexes, scrutinizing ingredient lists, and questioning vague marketing terms like no added sugar are all steps toward protecting yourself and your family from these hidden dangers. The most effective way to avoid these pitfalls is to prioritize whole, minimally processed foods. Focus on ingredients you can recognize and trust, and remain vigilant even when shopping for products that claim to be healthy or natural. Advocacy for stricter regulations and greater transparency in food labeling is also critical in ensuring accountability from manufacturers. Remember, your health is in your hands. By staying informed and proactive, you can navigate the maze of deceptive food practices and make choices that truly support your well-being. The next time you pick up a product boasting bold claims on its packaging, take a moment to question what's inside and take control of your health, one informed decision at a time. This is Dr. Health, and I see you soon